Welcome to the Niche Pursuits Podcast. Are you ready to discover some niche business ideas that actually work? Well, it's time for a motivational kick to jumpstart your next big idea. Here's your host, Spencer Haas.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Niche Site Project 3. I've got Samara with me here for coaching call number 5. Samara, how you doing?
I'm okay, Spencer. Thanks. How are you?
I'm doing very good. I know you've traveled thousands of miles since last time we spoke.
I have. I'm coming at you from Florida, visiting family over here. So excited to be in America.
Yeah,
Yep,
it's good to be back home in a way.
It
right?
is. It is. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So what's the weather like in Spain and what's the weather like in Florida?
Well, it's pretty chilly in Spain. It's cold. And here we've had tornado warnings. It's been rainy. It's been also cold, unfortunately. But today is the first nice day. And I am sitting outside, enjoying the nice weather. So finally some good weather. We can get outside, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Absolutely. When you go to Florida, you want at least a little bit of warmth, right?
Absolutely.
So
yep.
How long are you there?
We're here for 2 weeks, a little bit more than 2 weeks.
Very nice.
Yep. So hopefully we'll get a few more good days before we have to head back.
Yep, totally. Very cool. So let's jump into the call. It's going to be a good one, I think. We're going to have some assignments for you to actually get started putting something online for people to see, getting domain names, that sort of thing. And so it's starting to get real here.
Excellent. Okay, great.
So coaching call number 5 is all about developing a vision statement and a brand. And so before I jump into that, I do want to, again, review sort of the project. We've done all of these things, the first 3 steps here. And today we're going to be talking about step 4 and step 5. So what problem is your site solving? How will your site stand out? We're going to also talk about getting a domain name, a WordPress theme, logo, voice, and more topics to help you build a brand. So those are the things we're going to cover. And then as a reminder for those listening in, these are the other topics that we will be covering eventually. Okay, so 13, there we go. And so to review your assignments from last call, just to follow up with you, the assignment was to find 20 low competition keywords for your niche website using the various methods, at least 3 keywords with a search volume of 1,000 or more, and then the remaining 17 search volume really doesn't matter. I already know the answer, but so everybody knows, how did it go?
It went really well. It was a little bit addictive, looking for these kind of, as you described them, like gold nuggets.
Yep.
Super fun, I thought. And I think I found a bunch. I mean, I found slightly more than 100. And
overambitious.
I know, a little bit overboard, as I was saying. And yeah, it's really fun and really exciting once you find a keyword and then you find these kind of weaker sites ranking for it. You think, you kind of get excited about it. So I think it went well. I thought it was a little bit more challenging finding keywords with a search volume over 1,000. That was definitely a little bit harder, but kind of once for example, I reduced the number of words in the long tail phrase and then it was a little bit easier, or maybe I input kind of better seed keywords, but I was able to find a handful also. Mm-hmm. So I'm super excited. I could have continued, right? Like I ran out of time because we had the call, but I could have continued for hundreds of more keywords. So
yep.
Fun.
Yep, I agree. It is fun. I'm addicted to it as well. I mean, I've been doing it for years and I still enjoy it. So did you find any particular tactic or strategy that was most helpful to help you uncover all these keywords?
I don't know. I think I tried lots of different, I tried getting seed keywords from lots of different places. So I think that was, I created 20 projects maybe. So from SEMrush, I tried, Etsy, I tried Amazon, I tried eBay, I tried all the things, all the modifiers. So it's a little bit of everything. I think, in the beginning, I probably just stuck to Amazon. And once I branched out, I was able to find a whole range of keywords and more doppelgangers too. I also found, which was interesting. And when I kind of, I started out looking at long tail keywords that were 7 words, 8 words. And when I started to reduce them, I was able to find low competition high traffic keywords. So,
Right.
so I think that was probably what I did. So fun.
Yeah,
Spencer.
so just a multi-prong approach seemed to work for you. No one exact strategy, but you didn't do any hidden strategies that we didn't talk about on the call, right? Like
I didn't.
okay,
No.
so
Nope.
there was nothing magic. We covered it all on the call last time. So I did look at the keywords that you had, and as mentioned, I think they look great. They are low competition. They met that criteria that we talked about of having sort of 2 results in the top 10 that have under 30 page authority and under 30 domain authority and low keyword competitiveness. And yeah, you're able to compile a great list, and there's so many more keyword potential for the particular niche that we've chosen. So we're well on our way. So now that we've done that, it's time to actually start thinking about what is the vision for this business, for this website. Where do I hope that I can take it? What do I want it to become someday? Because if you don't think about that from day one, it's kind of hard to shift gears and get it there eventually. So I think it is important to think about this because hopefully this does become a long-term project and a bigger business. Yes, $500 a month is the initial goal, but if we can get it much bigger than that, that would be even better. So these, again, are just sort of things that you need to be thinking about. But what is the overall goal of your website? Okay, if the goal is just to make $500 a month, well, maybe we don't need a real robust vision statement, right? Or anything like that. But if you want to, and again, this comes down to you. I'm not saying one is right or wrong, but if you eventually want it to sort of become a full-time business, right, you need to be thinking of having that vision in mind.
Right.
The other thing is, what problems are you solving for your readers? This really is critical in thinking about what your readers are coming to your website for, what eventually do they want to get out of that, and so that needs to be kept in mind. And I'm going to cover some of these and give examples here in more detail here, but the assignment today or this week will be one of the assignments will be to develop an overall vision statement for your website. So a couple of examples. Microsoft. Their vision statement is to have a computer on every desk and in every home, all running Microsoft software. Okay? Very huge, global vision statement. I don't think our niche website, we don't need to say we want every household to reference our website whenever they are researching X, right? We don't probably need to be that robust, but this gives you an example. Nike, to be the #1 athletic company in the world. All right. Notice they didn't even mention shoes there, right? Their vision is not to be the #1 shoe seller. They want to be the #1 athletic company in the world. So very, very big and broad. So I just plant this sort of seed in your mind. Think a little bit broader than, I don't know, maybe initially you came into this project thinking, right? Think of a broader vision. What do you want to accomplish? And write it down on paper. So just a 1 or 2 sentence sort of phrase that encapsulates where you want to take your website.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, now how do we make your website stand out? There's a lot of websites out there in your niche, and so let's say we're going into the gardening niche, which we're not, but there's a lot of gardening websites out there, and there's a lot of affiliate websites out there. Is it possible to be a little bit unique and make your website stand out? If it is, that is going to be huge in terms of generating traffic and links and helping you grow your business faster. So is there some unique angle or gimmick I put here that can make your website attractive to readers? Again, this is going to be some brainstorming activities, but let's take a look at this one. I'm not sure if you've heard of fit2fat2fit.com.
I have not.
Okay, so, and ironically, this show, I don't remember which channel, debuted on TV last night. This person now has his own TV show. But as you can see the picture scrolling here, he was a personal fitness guru. He decided to, in order to, I think this is why he did it, in order to understand his clients, he decided to get fat. And so he was in the best shape ever. He went out and gained a ton of weight. I don't remember how much, but you can see the picture right here. Big old dude. And then once he hit, whatever it was, 300 pounds, he got fit again. Right? And it's just sort of a gimmick, right? But this is a classic market. How many dieting and fitness and health websites are in the world? Tons. Tons. But because he did this one little gimmick, he now has his own TV show. He was on Good Morning America. He's written a book. He was on Jay Leno, I think. He's not doing anything other than telling people how to exercise and eat healthy. Right?
Yeah.
But because he got fat and got fit again, and it was unique, and it is. It's a very cool story, right?
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's a huge, successful business. Okay? So I plant that as a seed. Is there something interesting you could do in your niche? I'm not saying go out and gain 200 pounds, try to lose it, but is there something unique you could do in your niche? Okay. Another example here is BlendTech. Have you heard of BlendTech? Their Will It Blend series of videos. Oh,
they put like appliances in a blender or something like that. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. So they went out and they put iPhones and all sorts of other things that didn't belong in a blender.
We don't really hate technology.
Smartwatches is this video. Anyways, you name it, right? Mm-hmm. All sorts of things in a blender. And it's fun to watch, will this iPhone get destroyed by the blender? And I'm sure their blenders are great. They really are great. But because they had this unique angle where this sort of nerdy, lovable grandpa guy gets on video and says, will it blend, and destroys a video game, people like it. And these guys are doing millions and millions of dollars a year. Okay? And so it's sort of it is a marketing angle, right? But if you can think about a unique angle, gimmick, if you will, to make your website stand out, it can make your job a lot easier, right? Mm-hmm. So again, it's just sort of putting the thought in your mind, and it doesn't have to be this big, but even if it's just slightly different or unique, that can be a huge driver of business for you. Okay. So that is one of your assignments, is to consider ways that your website can stand out from the crowd.
Okay.
All right. Now let's talk about brandable domains. And I don't know if I mentioned this, but we are going to move fairly quick through a lot of various things. There's sort of just a lot of little things that we should be thinking about and doing. And so we're going to cover 6 or 7 of those things all within one call. So please stop me if you have any questions along the way.
Great.
So brandable domain names. Back in the day, I used to create domains, and it was more important because Google would rank you better if you had the exact match domain. So if you had bestsurvivalknife.com, you would rank better for best survival knife. Well, that's really not the case anymore. Google doesn't rank those websites any better than if you just had, samarasKnives.com, right? And so it makes a lot more sense to have something that is brandable and memorable, short if possible, a domain name that is easy to spell, and ideally you'll get a .com. There really isn't a big difference in terms of ranking in Google, whether you have a .com, .net, or .org, or anything else. But just in terms of other people being able to remember and link to it, people automatically think of the .com. So if you can get that, that's ideal.
Okay.
So a couple of bad examples. So my very own niche site project one site, bestsurvivalknifeguide.com. Like I said, back in the day, that did help. But nowadays, that's really not a brandable. It's not something easy to remember. Not a great choice of domain name. And then I just made up another domain with, scootersforsale.reviews.com. Trying to keyword stuff your domain. Not really a great idea. Good examples are nichepursuits.com. Overstock.com, and financialsamurai.com. And there's millions of great brandable domains out there, but those are just some examples. Okay. Any questions there, or does that make sense?
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Now, there are a couple of places that can help you brainstorm for domains. I won't go into tons of detail, but one is namemesh.com. If you come up here and, gardening, you just type in a couple of keywords and hit generate. It will go out and sort of do its own combination and iteration and show you what domains are available. So gardeningtoolsion.com, gardeningtoolsly.com. Anyways, it comes up with some very unique sort of things, all just, it does it for you. Okay, so you can come in here and pop in a few different keywords or, ideas, and that comes up with some ideas for you. If you can't think of anything on your own, I would definitely maybe start with yourself, see if you can come up with something original. And then similar to that is Panaby.com. You type in your keywords, gardening tools, and hit search, and it will do a similar exercise, right?
Okay.
It'll go through and it mixes and matches the words and shows you if the domains are available. And that's one way to brainstorm. But I usually go over to something like Namecheap.com and just check if domains are available as I brainstorm off of the top of my own head. So
okay. All right.
So that will be an assignment for today, is find an available.com that is brandable.
Okay.
Think you're ready for such a commitment?
Wow. Absolutely. Oh my God. Absolutely. It's very daunting, right? Like it's a big decision what you're going to call yourself. So there's a lot of thought that needs to be put into it for sure.
Yeah. Yep. No, it is a big decision, and I probably spend more time than is necessary figuring out domain names, if I'm completely honest. In terms of, Google ranking you and a lot of times other people linking to you, it probably doesn't matter a ton, right? As long as it's not some 5 or 6 word thing. If you can get something that's 2 words or maybe 3 words, that's ideal. So don't stress too much. But if you can come up with something that's memorable, that would be ideal.
Cool. Okay.
All right, website hosting. I really wasn't going to talk about hosting too much, but I do recommend Bluehost, and this is an affiliate link, just in full disclosure if people are wanting to sign up for Bluehost. But that's what I use for my niche sites. They work great. Do you have a hosting account already, or are you planning on getting a new one?
I have one for previous websites. Would I need to get a new one, or can I just use my existing account?
You can use your existing account if you want.
Okay.
That's fine. I will say that if you're wanting to keep all your previous websites hidden from the Niche Pursuits community, maybe you want to consider a new hosting account, because it would be very easy. It's easy to see every single website hosted on the same hosting account. So that's for you to consider. It's maybe not a big deal either way, though.
Okay.
So that's all I'll say about hosting, is figure out a hosting account.
Okay.
So there you go.
What kind of commitment do you make? Do you sign up for a year, 2 years, or what?
I usually sign up for the longer length just because I know I'm in it. But I have several accounts, and if I'm just adding a new niche site, I'll add it to one of my existing accounts. So, I have 10 or 20 domains all in one hosting account. But yeah, if you want to do a separate account, that's up to you. They give you a little discount if you sign up for a year or 2.
Okay. Sounds good.
So,
gotcha.
WordPress themes. So I do think it's important to have, we want to have a professional website, so we need to look professional. And there are a lot of places you can get a great looking WordPress theme for cheap. One of those is themeforest.net. You can get lots of great themes for under $50. Do you have a go-to place where you get your WordPress themes already?
I do not.
Okay.
No. Okay.
Well, there is one place if you want to do that. There are free themes out there that people can start with if they really want to go on the cheap. But honestly, for $37 or $47, ThemeForest has very professional looking themes.
Now, before picking a theme, do you kind of have to also have a vision of how your website's going to look? Or are these really customizable? Or can you change? Or how does that work?
They're almost all so customizable at this point. You don't necessarily have to have figured out, okay, do I want a static homepage, or do I want a magazine-looking homepage? Or they all can do all that. Okay. For the most part. They're very customizable. Okay. The only thing that maybe you want to think about is like, if you're into, the overall colors, what do you like? Do you you're a girl, so maybe you want a pink theme. I don't know. Right. I'm sorry. That was really bad. But you know what I mean? You might have personal preference, and that's maybe all you need to think about is color and what you like in terms of visual look. Now, Thrive themes. These are very professional looking, conversion focused, and themes that have a ton of great options. I use these a lot, and my team, we use these a lot on pretty much all the websites we use now, because not only does it come with a theme, but it comes with a content builder that can help you build out email opt-in forms and split testing for, people that opt in, and pop-ups and all sorts of things.
Okay.
Did you get an email from Thrive Themes giving you complimentary access?
I did, yeah.
Okay. So, Samara has free access to Thrive Themes, and I would recommend just going with them. They're great. You can really make a great looking website with them.
Okay.
And since they give you free access, maybe that's a no-brainer. But I will leave that up to you, but I would recommend it.
Okay, great.
Okay. Mm-hmm. If other people listening in want to get Thrive Themes, they can do that. And again, this is an affiliate link, nichepursuits.com/thrive. It really is the theme that we use on all our websites now. It works great. Just so many built-in options to make it easier, and they look really great.
Cool. Okay, so once there, I have to pick a theme, right? It's just like Theme Forest, right? Once you get in there. Okay.
Yeah. On the back end, there's a lot of different, I don't remember what they call them, but essentially templates, right, that you choose from.
Okay.
For the overall look and feel. Yep.
Okay.
So that's your assignment. Install Thrive Themes on your new domain once you find it.
Okay.
Okay. So
all right.
We're going to have some crunch time here.
Absolutely.
And I can help you with that.
Okay, perfect.
Logo.
Uh-huh.
So I'm not going to leave you with the assignment to necessarily get a logo, but I do want to talk about it. So if possible, obviously you want to make a logo that aligns with your vision, your brand, and the voice of your website. So if your vision and your voice is more humorous, right? You want to maybe have a humorous logo. If it's more serious and data-driven, you want to more have a serious and data-driven type logo, right? So think about the vision first, and then create a logo sort of based on that, and something that encapsulates your overall website theme. So you can get cheap logos over at freelancer.com for around $50.
Okay. That's a good price to pay for a logo?
Yeah, I've used them a lot. That's really cheap. I mean, you can spend $1,000 getting or more, right, to get somebody US based that's going to go through and do a whole consulting call on, a bunch of stuff about your website, and then they'll try to create something that's, perfect. That's really not necessary, right?
Okay.
My Longtail Pro logo was a freelancer.com logo that I paid $50 for. Okay.
Oh, wow.
And I've built a very large business based on that cheap logo.
Okay.
So you don't need to go crazy.
Okay.
And so again, notice that is not the assignment for this week, but just be thinking about that. For now, we can get something sort of in place, just some text on your website when we launch it, and then down the road, we can look at doing a more formal logo.
Okay.
Developing a voice. Again, this depends on your angle and brand of your website. Just make sure that they align. Again, is your website data-driven? Like Baby Gear Lab, they take products like you're familiar with, and they analyze every possible angle of that. It's very data-driven. It's a very serious, their voice, they're not cracking jokes and things like that, right? It's very, here's the product. It's very in-depth type reviews, and that's the voice that they have, Whereas the oatmeal.com, if you're familiar, they've got goofy cartoons and, they crack jokes, and that's the voice, right? That's who they are, is they're funny. You could also be very transparent and helpful, like Pat Flynn over at smartpassiveincome.com. That's who he is, who he's developed, and how he writes his articles, is he tries to be as helpful as possible with everything he produces.
So you kind of have to pick one and go with it, right? You can't be funny about something and serious about another thing.
Yeah, generally speaking, right? At the same time, Pat Flynn could drop some jokes, right, on his website, right? It's not going to be out of character. But generally, you want to have sort of a theme and a general voice. You're a writer, so you probably know this better than I do, right? So you're, just figure out sort of what angle you want to come at with the website, and think about that from day one.
Okay.
That's about it for that. So that's your assignment. Consider the voice and tone of your website.
Okay.
We're about ready to wrap up. Man, that went quick, didn't it?
That did go quickly, yes.
So
I mean, it's going quickly, so I can't the questions haven't come to my mind yet, but I know there will be many questions.
I'm sure there will be. You know where to find me. Just a review of the assignments, everything I already mentioned, nothing new. Develop a vision statement. Consider ways to make your website stand out. Find an available.com domain that is brandable. Get a Bluehost account. Install Thrive themes on your new domain, and consider the voice and tone of your website. And then the overachiever goal is write an About Us page, contact page, and install a privacy policy page.
Okay.
And we can discuss that if you have questions on how to do that.
I wonder, would privacy policy page, is there not some sort of template?
There is.
Okay. All right.
Yep. So I usually just Google free privacy policy page and take one of the top few results.
Okay.
Is really about all you need to do.
Okay.
And they allow you to fill in a few fields, like you check a box, am I planning on ever doing Amazon Associates or Google AdSense, or right? So you check the boxes and then it populates a privacy policy page for you.
Excellent. Okay. Now, any tips about writing an About Us page? Is there anything?
Yeah, I mean, again, start with your vision, right? What's the goal of the website? And then, of course, the tone that you want to have for the website. And the About Us page is kind of where you'll establish those things.
Okay.
Right? You'll say, here's the overall goal of this website is we hope to do this. We're going to be reviewing these types of articles, or we're going to be doing data analysis in this niche, whatever that is. And, maybe tell a little bit about yourself and your background, whatever you're comfortable sharing, right?
Okay.
But yeah, that's sort of what you want to do. You're more than welcome to look at my About Me page on nichepursuits.com, or there's lots of other websites that sort of have About Us pages that you can maybe borrow some ideas or direction from.
Okay. Great.
So
that sounds good.
Okay. So, I mean, we're actually moving quite along here. We're about to get very real, where you have a domain name up and maybe even an About Us page, and be ready to rock and roll with content next week.
Very exciting. Okay. Sounds great.
All right. So any final questions before we wrap up the call?
Not at the moment, but as I warned you, that probably come up as I get into the process.
Yep.
That's all you got? That's all you got for me?
That's it.
All right.
And as soon as we get this up and going, I mean, we're going to dive into creating content like crazy.
Okay. And so I don't need to look for more keywords, right? I'm not.
At this point, I think we've met the threshold for now with your 100.
Okay. I should step away from Longtail Pro later.
Yes, step away for just a few days.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're okay where we are. Basically, we're going to get an initial set of content up on the website, maybe 10 articles or something, and then maybe we'll dip back into doing other keyword research and developing a more long-term, ongoing content strategy.
Okay, this sounds great, Spencer. Thank you.
Okay. Well, very good. Hopefully the weather stays nice in Florida and that you can enjoy your time with your family there.
Yes, thank you very much. And I will be in touch then.
That sounds great. I appreciate it very much. Thanks, Samara.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.